Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Geometry. That is the math class you'll be taking this school year. My name is Mr. Rivera. I'm your math teacher here at PA. The first thing you want to have is paper and pencil ready to take down notes throughout the video. If you don't have paper and pencil, make sure you pause the video until you get paper and pencil, then resume it once you have the paper and pencil. All right, now that you have paper and pencil, one thing that you might want to keep handy is my email address, crivera.precisionacademy@gmail.com. This is where you're going to submit all your work. Also, this is where you're going to submit all your questions you have for math. I know math is very complicated. I know math is very hard. Don't stress out too much about it. We're going to work on it together to make it a lot more simple. So let's get started on today's concept. All right, guys, so the concept for today is called points, lines, and planes. No, it's not the kind of plane you get on when you travel. I'm talking about this kind of plane, two-dimensional. It has a length and a width. All right, so make sure you write it down on your notes, the title of today's concept, and let's get started on the concept. So we start off by drawing a plane in our board. Now that we have this plane, does anybody know what kind of shape this is? I know it's not the best drawing. This is not art class. All right, so by the looks of it, what kind of shape does it remind you of? A parallelogram, right? So now that we have our plane, we have to name this plane something. We're gonna name it plane N. That's the name of the plane, plane N. All right, it's right here. On this plane, we have a line. This line is called line X. But the line is not alone. She has friends, all right? These friends are point A, point B, and point C. She has a lot of friends. But there's also on this plane another point that is a very lonely point. It's a loner. It's called point D. Now that we have all of our elements on this plane, if I were to ask you, what is the name of the plane we see up here? Notice that the name of the plane is usually on the corner. It's called N. All right. So if I were to say another name for points A, B, and C would be line X, because remember, they're all together. So the line is called X. And the third example, if I were to say, give me a point that isn't connected to other points. Notice that we have a loner over here, right? This point D. So your answer will be point D is not part of line X. Now, if you have any questions about the concept, make sure you send me your emails about the question, about the concept. I'll try to get as soon as I can to it. So let's move on to today's concept, or move on to today's assignment. All right, ladies and gentlemen, now that we have our new plane here on the board, we're going to label it plane X. We're also going to draw a line on this plane. This line is going to be called line A. But remember, it's never alone. It always has friends. So we have a few points on this line. We're going to call this points point B, point C. And we always have this point that it doesn't really have friends. It's a loner. The point is going to be point Y. So here's your question for today. Number one, what is the name of the plane up here on the board? Hint, hint. It's always usually on the corner. All right. So once you have your answer, submit it to my email. Your second question is, what is the name of the line that contains point B and point C? Also, don't forget to submit it. Make sure you submit your answers as soon as you're done watching the video to my email address. Remember, it's up here. Also, it should be on your notes. So make sure you, once you have the answers, you submit the answers, but you also submit a picture of your notes so I can make sure that you're taking notes. All right. So I'll be hearing from you soon.